A History of the Continent of Katernia, from The Book of the World, as recorded by a linear cloudspell. Twice upon a time the world began. First came the Dawn Age, a timeless era when gods, monsters, spirits, and other things for which there are no names wandered the lands and moved under the seas. From this chaos the elves arose. The Yosalfar, whom men call the High Elves, ruled the world for centuries unchallenged. This period came to be known as the Era of Empires, and great things were accomplished that had not been done before and would not be done again. Theirs was the Light Empire, and humans existed only in the shadows of that light. But Osius of Talsathia, an island that once existed off the southern coast of Theka, wanted more for his kind. From the dactyls, Osius learned the secrets of crafting and enchanting metals. Using a magical forge, Osius made 3 horns that gave him mastery over serpents. Using these horns, he gathered and enslaved the great dragons. The War of the Dragon King versus the Light Elves was fought for many years, and though not destroyed, the Light Empire was crippled. But then the great dragons rebelled. The dragons sank Talsathia beneath the sea. The forge and its secret knowledge were lost. But various human tribes on the continent were now free of Talsathian dominance. They picked at the remains of the Light Elf Empire, and from the scraps they snatched, they grew into what would become the Gordian Empire, the second great power of the age. But what of the horns? Rumors of the powerful objects from Talsathia abounded. One horn traveled to Theka. It was used there for a time, lost and found again. One horn remained submerged. Legends of sunken Talsathia have lured many adventurers to their death beneath the waves. One horn traveled to the Gordian outpost of Castrucentis, but its bearer died without successfully mastering it. Recognizing that the horn was valuable and dangerous, a secret society known as the Order of the Oak hid the horn in a special tomb. The Order recorded these events in the form of a cryptic riddle. It chose this method to both preserve the riddle's meaning across the centuries and ensure that only society members could decipher it. One day, the tomb was robbed by a Gordian soldier, an auxiliary conscript and dactyl dwarf of Thecan ancestry. He came from the city of Ambracia, and he was known as Acmon the Anvil. Acmon used the horn to enslave the dragon Orma, or so it was believed, and led a rebellion against the Gordian Empire in Ambracia. There, he ruled as king for a brief time, but Acmon and his dragon were overthrown by the Gordian Empire. Seeing his sister's downfall, the great dragon Orm fled across Katernia to the land of Norongard. When the dragon arrived in the city of Sardeth and found Gordians, his displeasure was terrible. Meanwhile, the Order of the Oak added 2 more verses to their riddle, this time hidden on Acmon's lost shield, which he had left in the tomb in Castrucentis. Years later, Ambracia was renamed Nova Gordian, New Gordian, by Emperor Gordas, but the name was not popular, and the people called the city Gordatia instead. When the Gordian Empire collapsed, marking the end of the Era of Empires, the sacred Gordian supremacy arose, a tiny remnant clinging to past glories. The supremacy chose Gordatia as its capital and drew its meager power from the control of the Gordatian Strait. Farther north, the once wild Uskiri nomads united under the leadership of Yarak Uskir, Yarak the Bonebreaker, who fashioned his people into a formidable power. Then Yarak turned his eyes southward to Gordatia. Ever after, Euskirian rulers hurled themselves against the city's walls. Those walls have always held, but it is said that one day they will fall.